Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome to Backstage with Angelo. Today I have someone special that we're going to be sharing a good conversation here in my TV show. She's someone very close to my heart. She's a model, she's a beauty queen, and she is an artist because she has done a lot of things related to art, but mostly she has a very, very big background in pageants and modeling. She was born in Jasper, but she's going to talk to us about that a little bit later. And she's Natalie Allin, Miss Grand Canada 2017. Welcome to my show, Allin.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
I said Allin, but it's actually Natalie. So, and I also said.
That's okay.
I'm just so happy to see her today.
Yeah.
And I just said Miss Grand Canada 2017, but you have been to more pageants. Like you've been participating, I think it was Miss Galaxy Canada and Miss Earth Canada and in other pageants. So I we're gonna go through those later. Sure. I just want to let you guys that I worked with Natalie for a year and was one of the most amazing experiences. She's one of my favorite beauty queens, and she's today with us because she's going to be sharing some anecdotes and basically what she's been working on, how pageants life's been for her, and so on. So, Natalie, here's your people.
Hi, pageant people. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So, guys. So, Natalie, I was basically reminding everything about your background, but I know that you were born in Jasper, right?
That's right. Yeah, I was born and raised in Jasper, Alberta. It's a pretty small town. It's about 5,000 people, so quite a small town. But I loved growing up there. It is. Of course, I'm biased, but one of the most beautiful places in the world. And on top of that, some of the most kind and wonderful people in the world. So I was so lucky and grateful to grow up where I did. And I still go back all the time. My parents still live there. And yeah, that's where I grew up.
I definitely have to agree with that. Like, it's in my case, it's not a biased opinion. I've been near Jasper. I haven't been there, like actually in Jasper, but very close to Jasper. And these sceneries are amazing. The weather is great, lakes and so many beautiful places to visit. So yeah, I would definitely have to.
And now you have a good excuse to come visit me.
For sure, of course. Yeah. So, Natalie, how many times do you go to Jasper in a year?
In a year, well, this year was a bit different. I live in Kelowna now, but my parents have a resort business in Jasper. It's called, for anyone traveling to Jasper, it's called Alpine Village Resort. And so I go there all the time. Last year, I'm forgetting it's 2021. Last year in 2020, my parents were a little bit short-staffed at their business, so I actually did work this season at my parents' resort in Jasper. So I was there a lot last year.
Because you've been working with the tourism industry for a while as well.
Like that's right. Yep.
Property management, I think.
Yes, as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been working in the tourism industry for probably most of my working years.
Oh, all right. And that's what you're doing right now, correct? In Kelowna?
Yes, I'm actually right now, I'm still helping as well with my parents. I'm doing marketing for them as well, just kind of from a distance, because of course with COVID, I think a lot of people have been affected by their careers and such as. So this year it's been a different year, but I've been lucky enough to help my parents out at their resort business.
And what is the name again, so that people
It's
know
called,
where to go?
yeah, it's called Alpine Village Resort in Jasper. And it's a cabin resort. It's right on the river. There's lots of grizzly bears, lots of wildlife, right in the mountains. It's very beautiful. I would definitely check it out.
Of course. And if you guys are ever coming to Calgary and you want to explore what the beauty of the mountains, you have to go to Jasper and just check Alpine Resort.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is funny, Natalie, because when I met you, like when I talked to you, because we met in Vietnam, actually, like face to face. But when we first talked, you were in Kelowna.
Yes.
And that was because you received some news about something that happened.
Yeah.
And that was that you were going to be Miss Grand Canada 2017. So
Yeah.
I am
was-
curious.
Yeah, that was probably some of the most exciting news that I had ever received in my life. It was super exciting to hear that. When I had been given that opportunity from you, I didn't believe it. I had to kind of like pinch myself. I was like, what? An opportunity to represent Canada in Vietnam? And then I kept reading, in 2 weeks, 2 weeks? Oh my gosh. So I was like super excited. Pardon me?
I think it was a week and a half.
Yeah, I think maybe not even 2 weeks.
I was like, oh, she's gonna kill me, but no, she responded like very, very nicely. She was like, yes, I'm gonna do this. Like she was so ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so honored and grateful. And I was kind of thinking, I was working full time at that point, and I think it was on my lunch break at work. At this time, I was working in property management, and I think I got the message while I was on my lunch break, and I almost fell off my chair, but I kind of was like, can I do this? Can I make this happen in just a week and a half? Will I be able to do this? And the first thing, I think it was within the afternoon, I asked my boss, I was like, so I got this amazing opportunity. And luckily my boss at the time was very supportive, and he was like, yeah, go for it. An opportunity to represent Canada, go for it.
Yeah, and that was great, because Natalie hasn't only been like before you received this call, you were Miss British Columbia.
That's right. Yes.
For Miss World Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had already had kind of previously in that year of 2017, I was already prepared to do a pageant. I really had prepared almost that whole year. You know, I was working full time. I would go to the gym to meet my personal trainer 3 times a week. I was volunteering every weekend, preparing for the Miss World Canada pageant. I was really basing my whole life on pageantry that year. So when you did call me and offer me the opportunity, I did have, the gowns, I did have the costumes, I did have most of that already ready to go. So it was easy in that sense.
Yeah, but still, it is challenging because before going to an international pageant, you usually get your title, or you win your title, and then you have, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, at least a month to get ready, right? Because even though you just return from a pageant, or you just finished the pageant, there is a process. There is a post pageant time that you need to take care of yourself and do some reflections and think about it. But you just got it and you said yes, and 1 week later you were flying from Kelowna to Vietnam.
Yeah. I know.
Crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, nothing like last minute, but it worked out okay. But yeah, I completely understand with what you're saying. For an international pageant, it takes a lot of preparation, the costumes, the wardrobe, the image, the photo shoots beforehand, also too doing a lot of events, appearances. There is a lot of work when you go. There's a lot of work in a national pageant, but there is, I would say, double the workload when you're doing an international pageant.
That is right. Yeah, and it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
In that case, you were representing the whole country. It was not just one province or one city. You were representing Canada.
Yeah.
Like the whole. Who was the first person other than your boss? Because you were at work, of course. The next person you talked to about this.
The next person I talked to was my mom. I call her my momager. She's like my best friend, but she's my biggest fan too. Like, and especially in pageants, I've really enjoyed the journey of pageants, but so has she actually. And I called her up, and she almost didn't believe it. She's like, "Are you sure that's real? Like, is this a scam? Is this real?" Like, she couldn't really believe it. And I said, "No, like, I just looked it up. Miss Grand, it's one of the biggest pageants in the world." And she was like so excited, and she's like, "Okay, you have to speak to the director, have, your questions answered and all that." But yeah, she was so excited. And I think it was a couple days after I had talked to you and I had made the decision that I was going to Vietnam. I had to get the visa and everything. But I said to her, "You have to come, Mom. Like, why would you not come?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh." 'Cause she had traveled a lot, but for her, she's 60 now. For her at her age, kind of traveling by herself to the other side of the world, she's like, "I don't know." But she came to Vietnam, and we still talk about it all the time, all the memories we had in Vietnam. And she was there supporting me alongside you and Yaya and Fernando with the big Canada sign. So it was a blast.
And everything happened so quickly. And of course, we didn't, like you and I, we didn't have time to meet. And but actually, I gotta say this to all the people watching is that when I was looking for the representative for Canada, I was browsing through some websites and Facebook, and I was like, I need to find someone who actually embraces and represents the country that I feel could be a good contestant. And then I saw your picture. You were in the top 5 for Miss World Canada. I was like, the blonde. I like her.
Yeah. Aw, thank you.
And I was very glad that you replied. And then when you said yes, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. This is great.
Yeah, it really worked out. Yeah, and I'll be forever grateful to you for giving me the opportunity. So,
Natalie, tell me the truth. You had your rolls on the head when you were traveling to Vietnam. How was?
Sorry, the rolls in my head.
Yeah, like for doing your hair.
Oh.
Or how it is? I'm so out of vocabulary.
Hair rollers. Hair rollers. I didn't quite have them on the plane towards Vietnam, but I did bring my hair rollers because I did need them. Because when we were in Vietnam, it was very humid. And I think all the girls in Vietnam, once we got there, all the girls were absolutely gorgeous, but there was a lot of rain and a lot of humidity. So it was kind of funny and ironic that we're in this beauty pageant and there was so much humidity. So it was like every time you curled your hair or did something with your hair, the humidity, as soon as you stepped outside in the hot weather, was
it was a really hard part. I didn't have that problem, obviously.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the Vietnam part, because I know it's a very long trip. It's about, I don't know, maybe 14 hours, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not taking into account the layovers. But I remember I was in China, and it was probably a few days before the finale. And I was waiting at the airport with Yaya and Fernando. They were so sleepy. They were actually sleeping. But I couldn't sleep because I was just thinking about you and how is she doing? Oh, okay, so we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And then I see a woman walking towards me, and she's like, from the distance, "Are you Angelo?" And I was like, okay, so I'm in China.
Yeah.
Nobody knows me in China. So she must be Natalie's mom.
Yeah, she must be Natalie's mom.
So I was like, I'm pretty sure it's her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was so
Isn't that
amazing.
Funny?
Yeah.
And were you guys on the same flight from China to Vietnam?
I think
Oh,
so. I think yeah, yeah. Actually, we were because as we arrived to Vietnam, we went through immigration. We had a picture, the four of us, and I was like,
yeah.
we're gonna send this picture to Natalie so that she sees that she has people here supporting her.
My support group. Yeah.
Yeah. But then we split because I think your mom was staying in a different hotel. We were staying at a different one, and the flight next day would for her would be later,
Yeah.
and our flight was so early in the morning. So we split and then we met again in Vietnam. There aren't any flight
Yeah.
booking capsules available. Yeah. So how was it when you arrived? Did you meet some of the other contestants? How was
Sure.
it
Yeah.
welcoming?
Yeah, so that was actually my second time I had traveled to Asia. The year before, I was with my sister in Vietnam and Thailand. So it was my second time at being there. And I remember when I arrived, the hotel was beautiful. It was a gorgeous hotel. And my roommate was Miss Columbia, who was really nice. And but as soon as I did get there, it was later at night, and I was just exhausted because it was a long day of traveling, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I think that day we were able to sleep first. Yeah, we were able to sleep that night, which was really nice. But then we were up the morning after, I think at 5 or 6 a.m., like starting right away, hair and makeup, got right into the photo shoots, and it was really fun. But it was definitely a bit tiring after being on such a long flight. And I remember the day after, I was like, I guess we call them panda eyes. It's kind of, you say it's tired eyes because your
Yeah.
eyes are a little bit dark. So I was like using makeup, like, oh my gosh, thank God there was makeup artists there because I had some tired eyes.
But you still looked amazing. I remember the photo shoot because they were doing the live cast, and I
Oh,
was
thank
like,
you.
you remember the flowers, and
Yeah, it was a beautiful photo shoot. Yeah.
that was amazing. I was like, well, they picked. I think it was a public market in Vietnam. And was that in Ho Chi Minh or?
Yeah, I believe that was Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, yeah, it was really, really nice, and they had great photographers. Everything was that pageant was so professional, so well done. They had a huge team of what would I say of choreographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, chaperones, photographers, videographers. Like they just had a huge team, and everyone was so kind.
Yeah, they definitely strive a lot on making the girls feel welcome,
And comfortable.
safe, and comfortable. Yes, definitely. I think I've heard those comments before, so it's definitely one of their characteristics as a pageant, which is really important.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So when you arrived and you see the other contestants, um, was it good? Like all the girls were nice? Was there some kind of competition getting started? The fire of the
Yeah.
competition?
For sure, for sure. I would have to say that, there was a lot of really, really kind girls. And I was just there, like, I, of course, wanted to make the top 20 or do the best that I could. But I was really there for the experience to meet great friends and just have a wonderful experience. So I wasn't focused on that. I think that there are some pageants where there are girls that they're there to get in the top 5 or to win, like they kind of, and that's totally okay, like they're there to focus on the crown, and that's totally okay. And other than that, though, there were so many nice girls. It was really a lot of girls just came from different backgrounds, and there were some girls that were lawyers, some were doctors, some were nurses, like, and some were students, some were models. Like it was such a wide variety of girls from different countries, different backgrounds, different professions, and it was really cool to see how kind of different countries interact with each other. And it's also interesting too is that a lot of us have different values, different religions, and you can all kind of come together, and it was a really cool opportunity.
Any friends out of those 80 something
Yeah.
contestants?
Yeah, absolutely. We had kind of a little group. It was we just seemed to all really click well. It was me, Miss Wales, Miss England, Miss New Zealand, Miss Scotland, Miss Ireland, Miss USA. We all seemed to get along really well. And my roommate, Miss Colombia, was really nice. Miss Costa Rica, Miss Paraguay, if I can say that right. Just so many beautiful and kind girls. Yeah.
I remember Miss Colombia. I think she was because I think I met her during breakfast or lunch that day when we arrived. Her name is Frances, right?
Francie, yeah, Frances, and I think her nickname was Francie.
Oh, okay, makes sense. That's nice.
Yeah, she was really fun. It was kind of cute because some mornings she really liked to sleep. Both of us did. But she usually forgot to turn her alarm on. And luckily I remembered because some days, I'm not sure how we made it out of bed. We were so tired. I'd be like, Francie, wake up. It's time to go.
So you were the big girl in the room.
Yeah, it was, tiring as well because from 8 in the morning to when you go to bed, you've got your hair done, your makeup, your earrings. The worst part, I think, the only negative part was my feet. My feet were really hurting after that because you're wearing high heels every day, like 6, 7, 8-inch high heels every day. And your feet are just like, wow.
Hurting all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's rehearsal. Like it's a full day of rehearsal. It seems like 2 hours is the whole day.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
So there was definitely, it was absolutely incredible, but there was some tiring days for sure.
But it paid off. I mean, for the experience, I would say, and you looked really happy, and you were very happy when we met the first time. You were super taller than I was. I was like, oh my God, see, this is what happens. But I was very happy, except for one thing that didn't happen, and it was supposed to happen. Yeah. And I don't know if maybe you remember about your costume, your national costume.
Yeah, that too. I know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that was one of the most. My head was going to burst because it was supposed to fly from the Philippines to Vietnam, and I think it got stuck somewhere in customs or something. It was like I got a letter in Vietnamese. I was like, I have no idea what this letter is about. I know it's from from the postal office, but I was like, I don't know what it says in here.
Yeah, I know.
Fact, you didn't get the costume. Tell me. Of course, it wasn't good, but what else do you feel? Like, how was the fact that you had to wear the same costume as the previous
girl before? Yeah, that Monica the year before. Monica looked, I think, a lot better in the costume than I did. I mean, it was still a cute costume. I did my best. I tried my best. The same thing actually happened to my friend Miss Ireland. Her costume also didn't arrive. So that was definitely hard. It was hard backstage because you're seeing glimpses of Miss Indonesia, Miss Peru, Miss Venezuela, and their costumes are they're designed by engineers. They're absolutely incredible costumes. And I'm kind of thinking in the back, scratching my head like, oh no.
I think you still look fantastic. I mean,
oh, thank you.
And that's the thing. Like, you have the perfect body because that wasn't done to your measure. Like, we didn't take any measures on you, and it still fit, and it fit very well.
Yeah.
So that was basically, you were a problem solver as well. You were like, you know what, Natalie didn't complain about anything, guys, just FYI. She was like, okay, sure, yes, okay, yes, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think it's just important in every situation in life, always try and find the light and always be positive. And sometimes there's just things that you can't do, there's unforeseen situations, and you just have to roll with the punches, as they say.
Definitely, yeah. And you did it very well. I remember at some point, I think Yaya was doing your makeup, and that was at your mom's room.
Mm-hmm.
And we were checking your gown. My blood pressure was so high at that time. And Fernando was very stressed too. Mm-hmm. But you were so relaxed. You were just talking about everything, and you had a cup of cup of coffee in your hands. I think I remember.
Yeah.
I have that picture. I'm just not allowed to publish it, but but I still have that picture. And I was like, see, like she was so relaxed, and we were
Yeah.
so stressed. Like you managed stress very well.
Yeah, I try for sure. And I mean, with pageants too, like it's not only stressful sometimes for the contestant, but also for the director and for the team, for the makeup team, hairstylist. And it can be sometimes stressful for everyone. But yeah, I think we did a great job with the little time we had, and we really had a great time.
It was amazing. I remember especially being with your mom because she was all the time. Here's a tour. Here's a safari. Here's this. I was like, but I'm here to work. And then I was like, you know what? We should do it.
We should do
And then
it.
yeah, you know what? I'm so glad that your mom was there because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to go to that safari, like enjoy Vietnam. And
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
always there telling us, let's do this, let's do that. I really appreciate that. And I'm never
Yeah.
going to forget that. It was so good.
I
It
know it
was,
was amazing, and it was so beautiful. Like also to the hotels we stayed at were just gorgeous, especially that last hotel. The If anyone who's watching wants to go to Vietnam, go to Phu Quoc Island. It's so beautiful, and the hotel we stayed at was just a Vin Pearl resort. It was just gorgeous, beautiful pools, beautiful beaches. It was hard for me to work because when we had a bit of spare time to go to the beach, and I was thinking, I don't know if you're gonna get me off this beach. Like I just want to stay on the beach and go swimming, and I was like, oh wait, I have to do my hair tonight and do my makeup.
exactly. Yeah. The duties
Yeah,
of the queen, of
yeah,
course.
queen duties.
Now, Natalie, when you were in the rehearsals, of course, there's no girl that goes to compete in a pageant thinking she's going to lose, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Nobody. Like, no girl has that mindset or should not have that mindset. And I know that your mindset was very positive and you were
yeah.
very motivated. But when you saw the other girls, was there one or two or three that you would be like, these are the ones to beat?
Yeah. There were a lot of strong contestants, like because I had competed, I think before Miss Grand, I had maybe only done one international pageant and quite a few national pageants. And sometimes you can kind of feel where you're going to place or if you're going to get top 20, if you're going to get top 10. And there was for sure girls there that like, I mean, the caliber of girls there were very, very strong, like beautiful, smart women that were just the whole package and women that could walk. Like a lot of those women, it was just like Miss Universe or Miss World caliber, like very strong contestants. I was very happy for Miss Peru when she won. She from the beginning was very strong. She has a modeling background too, so her walk, she could just dominate the whole area. She was incredible, and I had the chance to room with her in one of the cities in Vietnam, and she was such a nice girl too, very kind. And we still talk once in a while. I think she's got a really cute little boy now, named Kenzo, I think is his name, and she's married now, living in California. But she's so nice, and I was so happy from the beginning. I was like, this girl is strong. A lot of very strong Latina girls. Who else? Miss Philippines, Miss Australia. Who else? Miss Indonesia, Miss Vietnam. I mean, I would have had a hard job as the judges because any of those girls could have been the winner to me. All of them deserved to be the winner, really. So I guess it's what the judges have in mind that year, or sometimes they may look for something certain that year. But I mean, all the girls in my year were incredible and beautiful. So it was really hard to say. But I do definitely agree. Miss Peru was absolutely incredible and beautiful, and she deserved that crown. And throughout her year, when I follow her pictures and her activities, she just was always so professional, and she was just a total queen. But all of the girls there were queens.
That is right. Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, I thought you were one of those that should have been in the top 20. I think it was. I think it was the top 20.
Yeah.
But I was very satisfied that you pursued everything, like all the duties, and you looked so well on stage. I'm talking about the preliminary competition, and I mean that dress was not easy to wear
Yeah, it was a
on a
heavy
stage,
dress.
especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in doing the swimsuit, because I know that the stage was a little slippery at
Yeah.
up to some point, like every other stage and every other pageant, and
Yes.
you still managed it very well.
Thank you.
And I was so excited. I was yelling Canada. You probably couldn't hear because there was a lot of music. It was too loud,
Yeah.
and I don't speak too loud. But we're trying to cheer you up. You didn't need it. Like you did such a good job. It was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Angelo. Thank you.
So and the final night, the night of the pageant, you see the top 20.
Yes.
Do you think in the top 20 were there any girls you would probably, I'm not asking for names, I'm not expecting any names or sashes or anything, do you think you might have different results for the top 20? Maybe you think someone that probably didn't make it should have been. If you could have put someone in that top 20 that didn't make it, who would it be?
I would probably have to say, well, it was kind of interesting because the night before we had done a final dress rehearsal where actually, I don't know if I should say this, but I think there was about 18 girls that were in the last dress rehearsal that were in the top 20 the next day. So it didn't come to me as a surprise because there was kind of that final dress rehearsal where almost all the girls were in the final night. I would have to say someone that I think worked really hard would have been Taylor Kessler. She was a Miss USA, and she was a good friend of mine. She actually was Miss Texas USA last year. So she went on.
Yes.
She was really well prepared. I thought she had a really strong walk. I thought she would get in, and yeah, I definitely thought she would have been top 20. There was another girl, Miss England, Naki, that she was really, really captivating on stage. She was really, really beautiful. And I don't know, also Miss Scotland, all my friends I want to name, Miss Wales and Scotland. I don't know. I think, yeah, there was a couple other girls I can't name right off the top of my head that I think worked really hard. And what was sad too is backstage, like I think a lot of girls didn't care if they didn't win the final crown, but a lot of girls always kind of hope for that last top 20 spot. They want to hear their name called. Of course, every girl does.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, backstage, it was just kind of sad. Like, there's a lot of tears, and a lot of, oh, I didn't make the top 20, and which is understandable for sure. But just to be there in such a large pageant and representing your country is already a huge accomplishment. And yeah, just being there and being on that stage is huge. And yeah.
I remember that. Well, and I guess the reason I ask is obviously I know on the judges' part, because I've judged pageants before.
Yeah.
There is a meeting one or two nights before the pageant, and there is this conversation with the judges saying, okay, so according to what sponsors they have and what they're looking for to work with for that whole year, they might say, we're looking for someone who has this specific characteristics. So basically, this is what we're looking for. When you see that on the stage, give it a 10.
Yeah.
If you don't see it, just don't give it a 10. Yeah. So, and it's still up to the judges, because even people are explained what they're looking for, what the pageant is looking for.
Yeah.
But still, the judges will put basically their thought to it. Right. And they will vote on what they think. So it's tricky. Sometimes it is really hard. It is really hard.
That's true. I know. The judges have a hard job as well.
Definitely. Now, you return from Vietnam, what do you do after? What happened after you returned from your trip to Vietnam?
After Vietnam, I got back to work. I sadly, because I think it was 3 weeks I had off. So my boss was like, you don't have time to get over your jet lag. You're coming into the office. So I think it was as soon as I got back, I was in the office the next day. I went back to work. But also there was a few magazines and a few local newspapers that had published my story about representing Canada at Miss Grand. So that was really exciting. I was still kind of on a cloud nine. And after that, yeah, I still had my sash. So I still was able to do events and kind of photo shoots. And I still had my title to represent Canada for the rest of the year. After that, I didn't stop there for international pageants. After that one, I kind of got a taste of how much fun an international pageant was, and I did quite a few pageants after that. I was asked to do a pageant, I think it was a couple months after, in November, called Miss Multiverse, and that was in Dominican Republic. So I represented Canada there, and I was top 5 at that pageant, so that was exciting. Yeah, and then after that, I think, how many pageants did I do after that? I think I did, after Miss Grand, I've done 3 international pageants with a possibility of 1 more international pageant. So it's been amazing. I think once you get a taste for the pageants, how much fun they are, you know, you're traveling the world, you're meeting new friends, you know, you just want to do more and more.
And I want to talk about that because basically last year you did Miss Earth Canada.
Yes. Yes.
And I was so happy to see you there.
Yeah.
You did such a great job.
Yeah.
I couldn't complain or have any
you.
remark or whatever. How was
you.
that experience?
That was really fun. Yeah, I had always wanted to do Miss Earth. So, because I always felt like I grew up in a national park. I grew up with a strong environmental background. I grew up hiking. I grew up in the mountains, obviously fostering a huge appreciation of the environment. And after that, I thought kind of my platform and everything would suit the Miss Earth brands. And I didn't win Miss Earth. So that was kind of disappointing. Like, I don't know if I expected to win Miss Earth or I expected to do a little bit better at that pageant, but it's okay because I ended up having a really good relationship with the director, and he was able to send me from that one. He was able to send me to Malaysia to a pageant called Miss Cosmo World, which was a really fun pageant. And at that pageant, I made top 7.
See? Out of how many girls?
That one, I think there was 50 girls, 40 or 50. Yeah, so
that's
not
a lot.
as big as Miss Brand, but yeah, it was
But
still. Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah.
Like, isn't that easy when there's so many girls from different parts of the world? I'm talking from the experience of or watching for so many years Miss Venezuela. There used to be only 24 contestants.
Yes.
And that's still hard to make it to the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Now imagine 40, 50, or 70. It makes it like really uphill.
It is. And it's kind of funny because some pageants, like the ones that you think you'll do better at, you do worse at. And the ones you think that you're going to do bad at, you do better at. It's kind of funny how that works. Because at Miss Cosmo, I had put my all into it, but I didn't think I would place as high, but I did. And I was really happy with that. So it all depends, like, and that's why I say to a lot of pageant girls is don't stop at one. Every pageant is different. Every brand is different. And everyone, there's always a different style to each pageant. Some pageants are more, let's say, platform based. There's lots of different pageants, and I always tell girls, never stop at just one. Like, keep going after your dreams, and yeah, you'll be successful.
That's right. Like, never. So I don't know if you watched the video from Shauna Barber. She was Miss USA 2016.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And she had tried like 6 times, and I think on the 7th is when she was able to make it.
Yeah.
To British Columbia. To the District of Columbia.
District of Columbia. Yeah.
and then up to Miss USA.
USA, yeah, which is an incredible story. Even in Miss Universe Canada, like the current Miss Universe Canada, Nova Stevens, I think she had said, which was really empowering, in her story, she had tried 3 times for the same title. And it goes to show, like, don't get discouraged, don't give up on yourself. Like, sometimes you have to go at it, you have to keep trying, and it can be a lot of work, I find, because sometimes financially it can be a lot of work, especially to go to the national pageants. Sometimes to pay that upfront, it's maybe sometimes around $3,000 just to enter the pageant. Then on top of that,
expensive.
You might have a $1,500 gown. Then you have to do hair, nails, travel costs, wardrobe. Oh, it's an expensive sport. So it can be a lot of investments in investing financially and investing your time into pageants.
Definitely. And I think I saw her in the previous years. I just didn't know that she signed up for last year. But then I saw her and I was like, I think I know that contestant. But she was just like with a the hair was shorter. But I was like, I think I've seen her before. And yeah, she had tried probably 2 or 3 times initially, and she didn't give up. That's a good message right there.
Exactly. Is keep going, keep persevering, and just keep going.
That's right. When you were in Miss Earth Canada, did you who were your top 2 or 3 or 4? Who were they in your mind?
At Miss Earth Canada, I mean, Matea, of course, she was the girl that won. She's a powerful pageant girl, of course. She has lots of experience. So she did a really good job. And the first runner-up was really good. I have a hard time with this because all the girls deserve their placement.
I can't remember.
It's really hard for me to say this because I always think Tiffany was great. All the girls were really nice. It was hard to say. I would have expected to have done a little bit better, but that's okay. It again goes to show, like what I just said, is some brands are different. Sometimes you don't place as good as you think, and sometimes it's opposite. So I don't know.
And every year is different as well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You go this year, and probably if you sign up for next year, it's going to be a completely different experience.
Exactly.
You might not win right now. You might win later.
Exactly. And I think Harleek, sorry, I always have a hard time with his name. He's a director now of Miss Queen Canada. He used to have the Miss Earth Canada. I don't think he has the franchise to Miss Earth Canada. So now to do Miss Earth Canada, you need to compete for Miss World Canada. So I think who's the new winner now of Miss Earth Canada? She's a really beautiful girl. Her name's Laura Pastor, I think. She's blonde, very pretty. Yeah. And she looks really strong for next year. And I think Glorin Guelos was 2020, and she was really, really good as well. She had a really strong walk and evening gown. I was surprised she didn't make top 20 at Miss Earth. But.
So she was, I think she went to Intercontinental, right?
Intercontinental, I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw her name around there. I was like, I think she was Miss World Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember her. Yeah. So Natalie,
that was interesting.
I know that you also you're Miss Planet Canada, right?
Yes.
Show me.
Yes, I have my sash.
There we go.
The letters will come up afterwards, but this is Miss Planet Canada, and this was another opportunity I was given through Miss Queen Canada, which was really awesome. He gave me the opportunity to represent Canada at Miss Planet. So I hope, we'll see, knock on wood here, I can represent Canada. I know that the pageant was originally supposed to be last March, I believe. And then It got pushed to November, and then it's been pushed again to March 2021 in a couple months. I would love to go, but it really depends, of course, on the pandemic and in our day today, every day is changing, and you'll never know what tomorrow brings us. So we'll see what happens, but it looks like a great pageant. I think Miss Planet, the uh, assistant director. His name is Pedro Francisco, and he lives in Seattle now. Maybe I know you know a lot of pageant people, and he lives in Seattle now, and he's a huge pageant fan. He owns it with another lady out of Cambodia, so it's just the second year going for this pageant, but it looks like a really nice pageant, and we'll see. Like, if I'd love to be able to go and represent Canada again. It's supposed to be in Cambodia, which is in Asia again. Yeah, and it looks amazing. I've done a lot of research on the pageant last year, and it looks like a really fun pageant, but it really, again, depends on what's happening.
Are we seeing some subliminal message there with Asia? You've been to Asia so many times, and you still probably have to go to Asia. Are you moving to Asia?
I probably should at this stage. Yeah, because I've done Miss Grand in Vietnam, and then I did Miss World Beauty and Talent, which was in Korea, and then I did Miss Cosmo in Malaysia. I was supposed to do Miss Harmony in China, but again, that changed because of COVID. And now I'm supposed to do Miss Planet in Cambodia. So, yeah.
Your passport is going to have a lot of Asian stamps on it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, in Asia, pageants are huge. Like in Philippines, Vietnam, it's really, as well, of course, because you're originally from Venezuela. Venezuela is a huge pageant country.
Yeah, we kind of, I was basically doing another video recently about that with some suggestions and explaining why they do so well, like in Miss Venezuela and pageants, that people say, well, why do they always win? It's not that they always win. They don't always win all the time, but they do well all the time, right? And that's, again, it has nothing to do with the results, the final results, because you still see, I don't remember if you saw that Miss Universe 2018. One of my favorites was Miss Ecuador.
Okay.
I was like, wow, I think her name is Cristina Limongi. She was amazing, and she didn't make it.
I know.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it is always surprising to see, even when I watch Miss Universe, I have sometimes the top 20 and I'm like, this girl has to be top 5. And then she doesn't make top 20 and you're like, what's going on? Like, because there's always a backstage too, is a lot of people don't see that in pageants with the interview, kind of your backstage behavior, your personality. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes too that can actually affect the final result, of course.
It's now easier with social media to have a little more outlook to that, but still you don't get to see everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Behind the scenes, there's always lots going on.
And only you guys know, like only the contestants know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Natalie, out of pageants, any plans for the future? Any projects that you're trying to pursue or you're going to pursue anytime soon that you'd like to talk about, that you'd like to make public?
Absolutely. Well, of course, Miss Planet, it was the plan. I'm hoping I can still, the plan for Planet, Miss Planet, is hopefully going to happen. I was thinking, because I'm almost at the age where I'm aging out, so I was thinking to possibly, we'll see what happens, maybe try Miss Universe Canada this year. We'll see. But again, Miss Universe Canada, Miss Universe, it's the biggest pageant in the world. So the preparation that goes into preparing for Miss Universe Canada is huge. So I was thinking about doing that one. We'll see what happens. There's nothing kind of confirmed yet. Just kind of an idea. Of course, if I were to do Miss Universe Canada, it would be, again, I would devote all my time to preparing at the gym with my platform, wardrobe. It would, when I do compete in a national pageant or even international, I do put a lot of time into it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that's definitely a good plan. That's something that sounds like something I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So
thanks.
Thank you for feeding my my expectations. That's
Sure,
you
sure,
should
yeah.
definitely do it if you feel like it's something that you should do. I think you should definitely go for it. You would be
Yeah.
one of the strongest, not only because of your experience in pageants, but also because of your personality, like what you
Oh, thank
portray
you.
to the scene, to the people, to those working with you. I think they would be so lucky to have you working with them
Oh, thank you,
because
Angelo.
you're, yeah, and that's one thing that pageant directors should know about you, right? That it's
Thank you.
really, you're very personal, very personable. You're a hard worker. You collaborate a lot. It's
Thank
like you
you.
take it seriously, and you really put a lot of effort to it, which
Thank you
is
so much,
really
Angelo.
important. So, national directors, you already know.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. And how
No,
about
that, yep.
you? And sorry,
Sorry.
can I ask you a question? Or you're giving it back to you.
Of course.
Do you plan, because I know right now you're not as much, you're do you still do a bit of modeling, but do you want
Yes.
to become a director again for a pageant? Or because I know you're busy with your education
Yes.
and work and all of that, but would you ever want to become or be in a director role for a pageant again?
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely be up for that. I've been offered twice. There's two pageants happening this year, hopefully,
Yeah.
and I've been asked to send contestants. I'm just doing my research because, as you know, when I'm offered a license, if it's not a pageant that everybody knows about at the moment, I gotta do my research. I need to ask other contestants, how was your
Right.
experience? Because when you send someone to compete international, that person becomes your responsibility somehow. So you need
Yeah.
to be sure where you're sending the person. Is the person going to have a good experience? What's likely going to happen? Who are they? What have they done before? References. So it's some kind of paperwork kind of thing that you have to do before, some research.
Right.
And
Right.
but yes, there's a couple pageants I've been
Yeah.
asked to send contestants this year. It's for teenagers, so
Okay.
teenagers, you know,
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
and
good. I'll send them your way.
yeah. So it's of course I would be glad to, especially if I have contestants like you working with me, that I would do it as closed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me. I
Yes, of
wanted to
course.
say it from the deep of my
Yes.
heart.
Well, and that's what you said about me is I really, that's so kind of you to say that about me as a contestant. But as you, as the director, you're incredibly kind. You're incredibly personable. You're such a good person, and you're really supportive. And so, for any girl that will compete with you or under you, it would be a great opportunity for her.
Thank you for that. Thanks. That's
Welcome.
that's the best comment
Oh, thank
I've
you.
heard in a long time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Angelo.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. It was an honor. It was really
Oh,
an honor to work with you. I would do it again, of course, anytime. But I also feel like you should go for other opportunities, like high tier pageants.
yeah.
I do see you there.
Oh, thank you, Angelo. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No, it's okay, Natalie. So now to say bye bye to our audience, I just want to know, do you have something to say to those girls who want to compete in pageants in the future? Those are just, working on modeling, getting ready to compete in the future. Anything you wish to say to them that you think they should know?
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I would say absolutely. While you're young, go for any opportunity that comes your way. And I was very skeptical when I was very unsure. My first pageant as a teen girl, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have the confidence. And I did it, and it changed my life. I've traveled the world. I've met so many new people. I've got so many different opportunities, paid opportunities from pageants. It's really changed my life for the better. And I would absolutely recommend to anyone to give it a try. What's the worst that can happen, really? Try it out. And For me, a queen is, it doesn't matter your background, your age, your hair color, your skin color, none of that matters. What matters, one of the most beautiful things about a queen is her heart, is her soul, is how she respects herself and how she respects others. I think that is one of the most beautiful things that a queen can be. Beautiful, of course, with her smile, her eyes, but is beautiful from what she radiates, what she gives out to others. And there's so many wonderful ways in pageants that you can be a role model. You can be a role model and you can use your voice to inspire others. You can use your voice to show others what you're capable of.
And that's definitely, those are great words from a queen to future queens.
Yeah.
So that's definitely very inspiring, Natalie. It was an honor to have you in my show. You're one of the very first queens that I have interviewed in my show.
An honor.
And I hope to stay in touch, of course.
Yes.
And thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you so much for having me, and the best of luck in 2021. I guess all of us still at this point, we're not sure what 2021 will bring us yet, but just hope for the best. And I hope that everyone, and yourself included, just have a lot of health, good health, and happiness.
Thank you very much, Natalie. So guys, that was Natalie Allin, Miss Grand Canada 2017, and also Miss Planet Canada 2020-2021. Here from Backstage with Angelo. Thank you very much for watching. See you for next episode.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.